Hey beer tubers, Ryan back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me once again. Today we're going to look at a local beer from the Lost Abbey, and this is their Witch's Wit, which is their Belgian style white ale. And as you can tell, this is a summer kind of seasonal for them, and I believe that is still have the original label on there. There's a big kind of brouhaha about the witch on the cover, and I guess they kept it on there. So this is a 4.8% wit beer. They brew it with honey in addition to, I'm assuming, the normal spices of kind of coriander and orange peel. They might use one other, like cardamom or something, but anyway, this is their summer seasonal on the Lost Abbey line. And if you've noticed lately, they've had their corks in there way tighter than they used to be. So let's get this thing popped and poured. So it looks like it's going to be a good amount of carbonation on this beer, which is tradition. And this glass forms a lot of head, so it is pretty hazy, although I haven't swirled up the yeast to throw it in there. But very hazy, just like kind of medium straw color, pretty straw, kind of hay-like, light golden color. Got about a finger and a half of head. Good amount of carbonation we expect from a wit beer. So let's get the nose on it. Yeah, it has very like floral, kind of like, honeyish. Got the wheat in there, a little bit of a spice note probably coming from the yeast, maybe there's some coriander. Little hints of like a lemony notes, which kind of plays to the coriander, and maybe a slight kind of sweeter orange note in there as well. So maybe they're using sweet orange peel, but it smells like a pretty good wit beer. Let's try it. Cheers. First thing you'll notice up front, good amount of carbonation. Kind of really prepares the palate for this one. It's very crisp, very refreshing first sip. And it's got a good, just really solid round flavor to it. Carbonation really attacks your tongue. Up front you kind of get sweeter, kind of bready grains, slight kind of honey-ish note in there. And the back end has some spicier yeast esters going with it. And then you get a little bit of bitterness maybe coming from some orange peel, and just a little touch of orange in there. I'm drinking it slightly cool, so I'm going to let it warm up just a tad. It's supposed to be meant to be drank pretty cold, but this is pretty much straight out of the fridge, so I'll come back with a few more tasting notes. Okay, back with Witch's Wit. I poured the rest of the bottle out, got it swirled up, dumped the yeast in. Creates a really nice head on there, good amount of carbonation. With the yeast, I tend to get a little more yeast esters on the nose, kind of light spice. And I just looked it up to make sure to see what spices they're bringing with. They actually use grapefruit peel, orange peel, and coriander in there along with the honey. And I believe they actually add some oats into the grain bill as well. So it does keep a decent amount of body, for a 4.8% beer. It's not, I mean, it is still on the lighter side, but it's not completely like watery light. It's decent mouthfeel for such a low ABV beer. And then the flavors up front, they kind of remain the same. There's a nice citrus component, but for some reason it tends to go sort of more lemony, even though they're using grapefruit and orange in there. I mean, you kind of get those elements, but it's more that kind of bitter peel kind of character to it. Kind of helps balance out some of the sweetness, because it has a really nice kind of bready component in there, like little light honey notes in there. Not a whole lot of honey, but just a touch in there to kind of add some subtle complexity. So I think it's a really, really solid B+ type of wit beer. I mean, it's almost an A for me. It doesn't quite get to that Allagash level for me, which I think still is my favorite kind of a wit beer that I've had. But worth checking out for a summer seasonal. You can drink this no problem. It's a pretty smooth, easy drinking beer. So it's going to wrap it up for this review. Until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.